It's Clifford the River Gun. Helpful story.
Fine. Yay, Clifford's okay. He's a good puppy. Can you hear me now? Is it better?
Yeah.
I don't have to do any more puppet shows without puppets because I didn't have any puppets. I own puppets, frog puppets.
And welcome back to Geek Out SA. I just took a big update to. It was like the biggest Windows update since the release. So it took like an hour to get it, and I'm on like super Wi-Fi.
I don't know about super.
I can hear. Yes, you can hear. Yeah, I like I said, I just took an update, and that might have confused OBS, and I didn't check the settings because usually when I open it, it's working. So that update must have like switched something over. So, but now it's working, so it's good.
All the words you're saying just sound like the teacher from Charlie Brown. Yeah.
So Sean, glad you can hear. So we're doing something a little different that we haven't done, if ever. I don't know if we've done it together. I don't know if we've done this together. Just talk about us. If we're waiting for questions for you to ask us, so we can talk about
I'm
it, and
surprised
we'll let you know about us.
I'm surprised you haven't talked about yourself more. You tend to be slightly narcissistic. So.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. But I'm just proud of some things that I've accomplished.
Well,
Is
so
that so wrong?
what can we start? What kind of stuff do you want to start with?
Well, I know people know a lot about you because a lot of
Because I'm
what you do, you're a teacher.
Yes.
So, and that's what you are, and that's what you do. But I don't talk about what I do as much. And
Because it's real boring.
it's not real boring to me.
There he
So,
is, Nick. You want to get Charles?
and we're gonna have two.
We got our we got our substitute producer who's
Yeah.
supposed to be subbing for the producer, and then poor Nick subbed for our substitute.
Yeah.
Because Nick used to do some substitute producing for Al back in the day when Al couldn't make it, when Zach wasn't home. We've had so many different producers. Maybe we should
Sean
talk.
says, "Don't worry, Vince. My friends say the same thing about me."
Maybe we could talk about all the different like producers that we've been through, co-hosts that we've been through. Poor Charles. Hi, Charles.
Hi.
I feel your pain. Like Vince started the show without me because I was also in the traffic from Hades. So,
But it's
yeah.
all good now.
Yes.
And now we have sound,
you,
so
Nick,
that's a
for
good thing.
starting
So I'm
it
going to
off.
go ahead and have to like shave that part off once we finally go live. Well, after it like ends and I can go back and edit it and
It does all the stuff and the things.
do all this stuff and fluff. But yeah. So you're a teacher.
I am.
You're a teacher. So what do you teach?
I teach science, 7th grade science, in Northside Independent School District, at Patneff Middle School, which is over, like where Heroes and Fantasies is. It's right across the highway. You can see the football field from there. So
I know we've talked. Well, we talk a lot all the time because we live together and we're married. But because I'm trying to make this like an interview, and hopefully you're going to do that the
but
same
I
to
wonder,
me.
do people? I mean, if this is the first time people are watching, maybe people don't know that we're married and we live together.
We are married.
We are.
And
How long
we
have
are
we been
married.
married?
We've been married. It's going to be 17 years in December.
Yep. December 10th. It'll be
December
17
10th.
years.
Yes.
17 years.
That's a long time.
And
it's
have-
almost 2 decades.
Yeah. And we have 3 sons.
We have 3 sons.
They are 24 and 20 and 19.
Mm-hmm.
Matt has been, the oldest one, Matt, has been on the show. He used to do Level Up with Vince.
He used to do Level Up, yes.
For a short period of time, he did that.
Mm-hmm.
And then Zach is the middle one, and he's 20. And Nick, who was just, you didn't see him, but If you see any of our posts, he's the one that looks like a Viking. He's
Or
the one that
he's-
cosplay with us.
He's been producer on this show every once in a while.
Nick, Zach
and
too.
and Zach too, and every once in a while you'll hear him as well.
And Zach used to do the away stuff with Matt when they would go to the Rim. Was it the Rim where we used to go, remember? And the guys went to the Microsoft store
Yes.
and stuff. And the Microsoft store used to invite us out, and they probably still would if we had more staffers to go out there.
Yeah,
And
it's just hard for just you and I
Yeah.
to do everything.
Yeah. So Zach has been out there, and then Nick's our youngest, and he's the one who cosplays with us. Vincent and I made Jedi outfits, helped sew them. A friend helped us a lot, but we sewed them and stuff. And so Nick did one, and he's really into the Joker, so he actually did Joker / Sith with us. Has a big purple cloak and everything. So, so that's us together forever.
Together forever.
Together forever.
So yeah, no, we met in college.
Yep. The first go around. I'm in college again.
Yeah, it's
Thanks a lot, Charles.
Yeah, blame me.
It's
Yeah,
actually
all my
the
fault.
it's actually the other producer, Christopher's fault. Chris Pagonis is the one who
I like that
emailed
better.
me.
Let's blame him.
Yeah.
He
Chris's
should be the
fault.
default blame man. Yeah.
Yeah, since
For
he's not here,
everything.
we're blaming everything
Always.
on Chris Pagonis.
Yeah.
well, he originally told you about it, right?
Yeah, so
well,
he's
he's
the
been
one-
telling you for a while.
He'd
though.
been telling me for a while that I should go do this, and I was like, I'm busy. And so he
Yeah,
emailed me, and he
yeah,
said, this is the last chance.
Sean says, now that will be my job, maybe. Level up, I mean.
Level up.
Maybe,
He could,
you
and
could.
maybe he could, like, I was looking at the Nintendo Switch.
Somebody was just asking me about the Nintendo Switch and if we're going to get it.
Well, I wasn't planning on getting that. It was the other one that we looked at, that we were looking at.
It was like the micro or the mini. It was the tiny
the
one,
one that
but it was
had
all...
the games like built into
Yes.
it already. That was the one we were looking into getting.
Well, I don't, but I do and I don't want that one because I have a lot of cartridges now and I don't think they're going to have every single game that I have.
No, I think we're going to have to look. We never have time to play video games, and we used to like to play video games. Well, I wouldn't say that we liked it because I'm not sure that we actually
Oh,
enjoyed
Geeky
it.
Hoodie. Hi, Geeky Hoodie.
Hi, Hoodie.
He says, love these geeks. And his son is visiting him right now.
Yeah,
so
I saw that.
That's
So
kind
he
of
has
cool.
all the boys with him.
All the boys.
So he has
That's
3
cool.
boys too. So would you say
Much younger,
we
though.
liked to play video games together? Because I don't know how much liking we did. We played together, but I don't know if we liked it. Especially, I don't think you liked it because I tend to.
When we play video games together, I'm fine. But when it's with you and all the boys, I don't like that so much.
We tend to be overly competitive.
Yeah, and y'all don't share.
We don't share very well. And I'm not very good at video games, so I always have to play these cooperative things. So it's like Marvel Ultimate Alliance or Champions of Norath or Gauntlet or something like that, so that everybody can play with me and be on my team. But then they all steal all of the gold and stuff, and then I get mad, and then there's yelling, and then there's things that happen, yeah.
So yeah, again, we're on here. If you want to ask us questions about anything, y'all, I know y'all are making comments, but if y'all want to ask us questions, if stuff y'all don't know about us, but we're gonna do a little interview here, back and forth. So yeah, we talked about us as being married and together, and we talked a little bit about you being a teacher. But you're a 7th grade teacher. What all is included in 7th grade science?
So 7th grade science is mostly biology. We do like human body systems and cells, and we're doing the fun reproduction unit right now. That's always great with 7th graders. But they learn a lot, and actually I got some really exciting news today that I haven't even shared with you. So I believe in taking the lessons across the curriculum. Combining history and science and English and math all together. So I work really closely with some of my friends who are also there on campus. So the English teacher, one of the English teachers and I, Miss Jaramillo, she and I wrote a grant to the Spurs to get some recycling on our campus, and I wanted to do a bird habitat, which Charles is like gonna help me with.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure you
Yeah,
are, Charles,
sure,
because you just
yeah.
found out about it. Just some guidance and stuff, because he knows more about this. He's been in the program longer than I
I've been
have.
planning for so long. I anticipated this very moment.
Drum roll. Drrr. So we actually won a grant. So we're
Nice.
getting almost $6,000 for our school to start these
So
programs.
is it you won a grant, or is it you were
awarded a grant?
Awarded
I
a
guess,
grant.
Yeah, you were awarded. You feel like
It's like a
winner.
competition.
It is a competition because it's a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of applicants who apply for the money. So we were awarded, a grant.
Nice.
So I was really
Well,
excited.
at least it wasn't paid patriotism.
No, no. I believe in actual patriotism. I don't believe in being paid to be a patriot. So it's really exciting because we're going to hopefully bring some of this science into the community and into the school, because I think people don't realize how much these things actually impact them.
Yeah.
So we're trying to bring that connection.
Well, I know as a city, we're really trying to push STEM. What's STEM?
It's science, technology, engineering, and math. And they're changing it to STEAM. So it's going to be science, technology, engineering, art, and math, to put them all together. Which, for me, I think makes sense scientifically. If you look back at a lot of the journals and stuff from the scientists, like if you're looking at Darwin and some of them, they didn't have cameras or anything, so they did drawings of what they saw. So a lot of the scientists had that skill and were able to use that artistic side of themselves as well. So I think that it's a really good way to mesh it. I've seen a lot of ways where you can mesh science and art. And then, of course, there's light theory and different things like that have to go with art and science as well.
Now, I know some of the things that you do, that you can do, that you've been trying to implement is, because I know you've done like a talk on this for cross-curriculum learning.
So it's where you take some concept. So one of the ones that I use is for elementary school teachers for 5th grade, and they have to learn about the moon and the relationship between the earth and the moon and the sun. But also in history, they have to learn about notable scientists from the United States, and Neil Armstrong is one. It just happens to be one of them on the list, so they can use that for social studies. And then if you just find a reading passage, which there are tons of reading passages about Neil Armstrong and about the moon, then you can bring that in. And then there's a lab where you actually drop like different things into a tray of flour to see how craters are made. And then they measure the craters and take the mass of the different objects. So that brings in the math, where you're looking at the mass of something and you're measuring with a ruler, and you're using your math skills as well. And then you can add different skills to it to add the math. So it's just about kind of connecting everything so that they're seeing how everything around them is connected.
And isn't that kind of like what STEM or STEAM or whatever it's going to be called now should be about?
Is what it should be, right? Is
Okay.
about making all of those connections and seeing how the world is ultra connected to one another, because things that you do and then the ripple marks of what that causes. So the only part that I'm really not very good at still is the technology part, which I give you a hard time about a lot, but I'm actually going to, we're doing this right now, and this is something great that I could do in the classroom with you, and I could make some videos, because a lot of the things we still show to kids nowadays were made in like the 70s and 80s, and they're super boring.
And they're grainy.
Even Bill Nye, which the kids are used to and they love Bill Nye, it's old.
It's not high def.
It's not high def. It's old technology that the kids are wearing clothes from back in the time period. So the kids have a disconnected, and they speak differently.
Mr. Wizard.
Yeah.
Do they still show Mr. Wizard stuff?
I don't think so.
Because he used to do some cool stuff that
There are some updated things that you can watch now that are YouTubers. And the kids are more in tune with YouTubers. Like we've talked about this before. A lot of the generations, they don't watch TV like we used to. It's all Netflix or YouTube or Hulu.
Right.
So kind of being in that mindset of where this generation is going. So I'm going to be picking your brain more because you're the technology guy. So you asked me about my job. So let's talk about your job for a little bit. So So what is it exactly that you do?
Well, I'm a web developer for a bank. And what I do is I create a technical knowledge base for online support. So for the different products, online products that the bank has, like their website and like their mobile apps and stuff like that, I built what holds like the support information to fix those.
So it's basically
Thanks.
if I'm like doing online banking and I mess something up and I don't know what I've done, like,
Or you get an error or something like that, or if you mess something up, yes, we have like fixes or solutions in our knowledge base that'll help you figure out how to help the client.
so it's like I call somebody and they are like, they can't possibly know every scenario, every situation out there, right? So you kind of have a database.
Right.
And it looks, what's impressive is, because I've seen it, because I actually used to work at Citibank with Vince too. We haven't only been married, but we used to work together too.
Yeah.
So he made it so that it looks like the website that the client would be seeing. So it's a term that I use, that's the GUI, right?
The GUI.
The graphic user interface.
Graphic user interface.
Yeah.
So I've updated because I was there. I was the first one that really implemented the structure of tech solutions, like 15 years ago. And but at that time, technology wasn't there to be able to do what we needed it to do, and be able to do like the searches and the queries that we needed to do to find stuff fast. And now we have that.
So what do you do, like, let's say somebody wanted to create like a website or something. Since you're a web developer, where would somebody start, let's say, to go into that type of career or do something like that?
Well, I mean, I've taken some programming classes in college, but the majority of the stuff that I've learned has been self-taught. And for the majority of the stuff, it's gonna be self-taught because it's always changing. And technology doesn't stay the same. It's always changing. You're always gonna find something better and faster or different to be able to do the same things faster.
Yeah, I find that, and you and I have talked about this before, I find that young people who want to go into some kind of technology field need to be really working on creating some kind of portfolio. You nowadays there are so many people out there willing to have these jobs, and they are just as qualified as you are. You basically have to sell yourself, right?
Yes. When you going into doing something like this, you definitely want to, like you said, have a background and have, like a artist would have their portfolio. You would need to have your portfolio of what you've created or what you've worked on, or an idea of what you've done in the programming realm. So a big thing that I learned from is Google. If you don't know what it is, Google it, because somebody's already done it before. And it may not be necessarily exactly what you were looking for, but it can open up other avenues that you can take from and bring in and then create something new that nobody's seen before.
Yeah, I may have to steal your brain a little bit this year, because I actually, one of my, as part of teaching science, I teach a group of the gifted and talented students as well. And one of my students, he is very interested in coding, and the gifted and talented kids have to do a year-long project over something that they're interested in, but it has to tie back to how can this help humanity, or how can this further humanity? And then because they're in science and they're learning, biology type sciences this year, how can you tie that to, how does it help humanity in the realm of like biology? And biology can encompass medicine, genetics, cancer research. So we actually have a huge spectrum, you know. And luckily I've had enough exposure to it that I can explain the science side to the kids, but the coding, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna have to pick your brain for like coding stuff that he can do. He and I looked into a little bit of like maybe coding things for like I don't know how much coding they have to do for like the prosthetics now that you can connect to like a neural net so that the prosthetics can move, or people that are like quadriplegic or paraplegic, and you know, like Stephen Hawking, like what he does, coding like that. So you might have to help me look into something that, because he's going to truly tie those two, that technology and that science. He's going to have to tie that together to get to kind of an end result of what we're looking for. So I think that'll be an excellent learning experience for me too, is how are those two going to tie together. And then I'm curious to see, we kind of touched on this a while ago, the comic books that are coming out. I was gonna actually research those a little bit more over the Thanksgiving break and see, have they already started coming out, because they have the Steam, and I don't know if they're just like Steam covers over comics, but I think that they were writing some storylines that had to do with introducing the characters.
I thought we saw some of the covers already.
I saw a story about it, but I didn't know when they were going to be released, so I want to find out about them so that I can bring those into the classroom.
Because there was one with like Spider-Man, and he's a scientist, and Spider-Man is a scientist.
Well, a lot of the comic characters, if you think about it, are scientists. You know, always Hank comes to mind from X-Men. You know, I think just because I grew up watching that cartoon, I love that cartoon. That was one of my favorites. And just seeing him like as the Beast in his lab coat.
Logan's not a scientist, but I finally got to see the Logan, the trailer for Logan.
Oh, you saw the trailer. It kind of gives you all the feels, cool. Right? You're like, oh, he's old. Xavier's old. Like, it makes you kind of sad. Like, you think of them as being like eternally in that, right? I mean, don't comic characters kind of stay eternally? I mean, I know they die and there's all these different storylines, but I think in a lot of our minds, they kind of stay in this one stasis of, you know, age or whatever. They're timeless, and then all of a sudden you see them.
Well, like the Simpsons.
Right. They just never age, right?
They never age.
And you don't question it. It just is because it is.
Well, they do look different from when they first started on the Tracy Ullman show.
Oh my God, they were so hideous. I remember that. I liked them. They were funny. I remember that episode when they're there with the psychiatrist and they're all shocking each other. Yeah. I loved The Simpsons too.
Ow, quit it.
I love cartoons. So that's one thing about me. I love cartoons. I'm like a super cartoon freak. I love all of those 80s cartoons, the X-Men. I watched the Transformers. I watched G.I. Joe. Like, that was my thing. We obviously all know what Vincent loves. Vincent loves Superman. That's a little weird.
That is
that
a
got
little
a little
weird.
strange.
That was awkward. But I'm a big DC and Superman fan.
DC, really, or just really Superman?
I like the Flash.
But that's been recent.
Yeah, it's been recent, but I still like the Flash.
And Star Wars. You have a big Star Wars.
I'm a big Star Wars fan too. Big. And and
then like geeky tech movies, like
Hackers.
Like Hackers, awesome. And like I kind of think of Blade Runner as I don't know. Is that not really a techie movie?
Yeah, maybe the third one was kind of techie. Trinity, a little bit.
Not Matrix. No. Blade Runner.
Blade Runner,
not Blade. Blade Runner with Harrison Ford.
Oh, Blade Runner. Yes.
You're thinking Blade the vampire guy.
Well, yeah, it's kind of techie, but what Blade Runner was it 2049?
It's coming out soon.
That's
why Miss Callista Flockhart is no longer going to be on Supergirl.
Yeah, I heard that.
Well, it was obvious in the last episode. Like she's leaving. She's not.
Well, she's leaving for a while.
Right, right.
It was
They
left
left it
open, so
just
she,
in case she wants to come back and do it. But for now, she's leaving to go spend time with Harrison while he works on that movie.
and they're totally glossing over the fact that she knew that Kara is Supergirl.
Yeah, and I've read a bunch of these stories, and they act like that never happened. Like, even in the stories that I read, like on the internet and stuff, and I'm like, maybe I watched that episode wrong, but I'm pretty sure she knew for a fact
Yeah,
that Kara was Supergirl.
yeah.
She knows.
It was like at the end of the episode.
Yes. It's weird.
Like
I
when they
don't
were
know.
talking out on the balcony.
Uh-huh.
And they're just like, after that, they never talked about it again.
You know who had the best balcony scenes of any show ever? Boston Legal.
Boston Legal.
Every time I see a balcony, I think of Boston Legal.
I'm with you.
Yeah, best balcony scenes ever. You know, and it's
Well, you know that they were in talks, like right as Boston Legal was ending, that they were going to do a spin-off. And they talked about it on the show, but they never did it.
never did it. And it's
And
sad.
then Spader just got too old.
Well, and it's always sad to hear about Shatner being like
A jerk.
kind of a jerk. Yeah, he's a jerk. And he was Captain Kirk, and you know, he was in Boston Legal, and he was a jerk in Boston Legal, but he was like,
Well, here, before you get into Sean asked, favorite Jedi. My favorite Jedi is Luke. Luke's my favorite Jedi.
Do you also like cornflakes? Sorry, never mind.
But
He's
but here's
everybody's
why.
favorite.
I think
I don't
Luke,
even know any other Jedi. You know who's my favorite Jedi? Anakin.
and my second favorite Jedi is
Anakin.
Qui-Gon Jinn.
Oh, not Anakin. I'm zipping it now.
But here's why I like Luke.
I just wanted to say Anakin to tick people off.
Success.
Done. Accomplished. I win the day. No, go ahead.
But here's why I like Luke. Because in Return of the Jedi, he recognized his darkness and he kind of sort of integrated. Because when you see him in the third one, you see him in black. And I think that's going to come into play more for these next movies.
So I think I'm going to have to wait until the next set of movies before I decide, because I mean, I grew up in the other movies and then I didn't hate the first three, but there's something really special about this new set of movies. There really is. So I don't know. I mean, you know,
It's Patrick from Nolan C.
From Nolan. Who can't love
3D
Yoda? Like,
Printworks.
how do you not love? How is Yoda not your favorite Jedi? Right? Like,
Yoda's one of the most badass. Or can I say that?
yeah, you can say
Okay.
that. As long as I don't say it, all the rest of y'all can say it.
Yoda,
I'm the only teacher.
Yoda rocks, yeah.
Yeah, I would think that
he's
Yoda
the most
has to be.
wise and trained. He's the sensei, you know. He's Master Splinter.
Yeah, yes, he's
Yeah.
Master Splinter, and then I like it that he like messes with Luke, right? When he first gets there to Dagobah, and he's like, you know, messing with his head and acting like he's clueless and he's like a swamp thing, and I don't know, there's something about Yoda. And then in the newer movies you see him when he's young and he's like spinning around and he's like all tiny with his lightsaber. So but I'm starting to feel an affinity towards Rey. I really like Rey, and it's obvious that she's going to be some type of Jedi, right?
She's no Jedi yet, though.
Well, that's what I mean. I think I would have to hold on.
But maybe Jedi will hold something different now that Luke's training people.
I'll be interested to see.
I don't know. I think just...
You like Qui-Gon Jinn better than Ben? Better than Obi-Wan?
Yeah.
Like, if I had to go for second place, it'd have to be Ben Kenobi.
No. Qui-Gon.
For real?
Uh-huh. Do you want to know why?
Yes.
Do you want to know why?
Yes.
Okay.
We need to know why, because this is, like, very disturbing, yes?
Qui-Gon also had that duality as well. He was always very standoffish with the council, which is why he never became a he never became part of the council, and he would just do what he thought was right.
Doesn't that make him a terrible Jedi?
I don't know. He ended up dying anyway, but
No, I'm gonna say no.
No.
I'm gonna say it makes him a non-political Jedi,
Oh, okay.
but not terrible. I judge him by his actions.
he meant well.
I guess.
I mean, he's the one that recognized Anakin.
I don't have anything against him. I wouldn't have put him in top 2.
Yeah, I would put him in the top
I knew you
2.
were gonna pick Luke. Like I know you have this thing for Luke, so I knew you were gonna pick Luke. But I was surprised that he was your second.
And
I was surprised that Qui-Gon was your
out of
second.
all the first Trinity of movies, the original Trinity, I love his lightsaber the most.
Qui-Gon's.
No, Luke's.
Luke's. Oh.
I like
from
Luke's the
movies
most.
From movies 4, 5, and 6.
Yeah, but even when
I
you
get you.
see what he did with when he was like putting it together, because if you haven't seen it, there's a deleted scene where he's actually creating and finishing up final touches on his lightsaber, and he's like using the Force to put like the crystal in and then make it work.
I think I saw that with you.
Yeah, I think I showed you that.
Yeah.
And no, that was really cool. But like I said, I liked him because he was able to recognize the dark side and use that to his advantage. He chopped off Darth Vader's arm.
I guess.
From a writing perspective, Luke also in the first movie, he's the everyman. You know, he's the outsider like you are. You follow him into the story, and then his character starts to develop.
Mm-hmm.
And that duality that you're talking about, people are nuanced creatures. They're not, archetypes necessarily. And
Mm-hmm.
so that's, I understand what you're going at. That's who that character is. You're supposed to be able to relate strongly with Luke. So,
Yeah.
but that's why everybody likes Luke, because
Mhm.
he's the most relatable.
And I do love cornflakes.
Yeah.
It's like cornflakes and grape nuts. No.
Cornflakes and grape nuts.
Who's your favorite Ninja Turtle?
Light Jedi, dark Jedi, Sith. Then the natural roll gray. Oh, they're natural roll gray. Gray Jedi.
Who said that?
Sean.
Oh.
I'm reading because there was a whole bunch of stuff in here. What he did in Return of the Jedi, he became a Gray Jedi. The neutral role, no bad, no evil. One shall become no more powerful than the other.
So that balance you're talking about, that duality. Yeah.
Because the Jedi Order was very strict in one aspect, and the Sith was very strict in the other aspect. They were both very dogmatic in their views.
Yeah. I think it's supposed to be a play on religion, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, all right. So, who's your favorite Ninja Turtle? Because we never talk about this. Everybody knows who my favorite Ninja Turtle is, but who's your favorite? Do you even care one way or the other?
It used to be Leonardo.
Yeah, I can see
It used to be Leonardo.
I can definitely see Leo being your favorite.
But I'm really... But I relate more to Donatello.
I mean, for me, it's always been Donatello.
'Cause he's a nerd.
Donatello's a
He
nerd.
does machines.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's the guy. Like, he's the brains, Everybody's like, oh, Leo's the brains. Leo's the leader. He's the brains. Like, Mikey's the goof, Donnie's just the nerd. But no, Donnie's the brains.
Patrick said, I think we need a watch party from the start and have a good analyzed chat after every 2. We did that to watch the episode 7, You fell asleep.
I fell asleep. I couldn't do all of them because we had worked all day, and then we started the movies, and then we were trying to go all night and watch the movies and go till the next day, and I just couldn't make it. I couldn't. And I know everybody out there like hates Christian, whatever his face that they used to be Anakin.
Mm-hmm.
But I like the kid. I liked him. I liked Anakin. So it's hard. I guess I relate to him because he reminds me so much of so many of my students and these things that they go through, and they don't know how to deal with their own emotions. And then he like loved his mom, and he was taken away from her. And in the books, because some of my friends had told me when I was a kid, like about the books and how what happens to his mom, like with the sand people, and like bad stuff happens to her, and so he goes to avenge her, and that kind of like sends him over the edge, and he kind of goes crazy, and then he loves too much, and I don't know, I felt for him. So then, and then I feel for Ben because Ben loves him because he's raised him since he was a child, basically. So Ben's like, please don't do this, and I can't watch that scene. That scene is hard for me. It like kind of breaks my heart, where he still has. He's like, don't do this. You know that I have the advantage. Like, you know what's going to happen. And you can see that Anakin knows what's going to happen. Mm-hmm. But he's got so much pain and so much turmoil. He does it anyway. Mm-hmm. It kills me. It, like, breaks my heart. And then his babies are born, and he doesn't get to see his babies. And his wife dies. And it's just, like, it's too much for me. Like, that stuff is too... I can't watch that movie. It's hard for me. It's hard for me. And then because I know that he eventually gets to meet his son, and he realizes all the things that he's done to bring himself to this point, and then he finally gives of himself. I don't know. It's too much for me. Maybe I'm reading more into it than everybody else is, but it's...
I think George Lucas is going to love you for that right now.
Oh.
You need to apply for one of his grants. He's gonna think you're brilliant, and you understand him.
I guess.
No,
I don't know.
I mean,
to me, that's
I like the movie. That's how I saw it.
Yeah.
I like the movies. I didn't hate them like everybody else.
Yeah.
But those were the hardcore ones that have read all the books and done all of that, which, I don't know, everything's out. Everything doesn't matter anymore anyway with the way the new Star Wars movies are going anyway.
Dude, the new movies are like, they're perfection. I don't know.
Well, the Rogue One, the last trailer, were just like tugged at your heartstrings, and you don't even know anything about these characters.
Yeah, yeah. The cinematography
but I
is
saw
great,
it, and I forget the name of the girl, the woman that's doing it.
Yeah.
But anyway, she says, my father's building that. Who's her father? Because they said, and this goes back to when I was talking about Rey being Palpatine's daughter, because they were saying that she is Rey's mom. That was some fan fiction that says that she, the one in Rogue One, is Rey's mom.
So Rey would be Palpatine's granddaughter.
So Rey could be Palpatine's granddaughter.
I still say no. But I'm just going to wait to find out.
And that's why they hid her from
them,
from Palpatine.
But Rogue One is too
supposedly
far.
Palpatine's still alive. In the books, he's still alive.
Really, he doesn't die from the whole.
Neither did Darth Maul after he got chopped in half.
He's like a starfish, or what? He regenerates.
No, he got cut in half. He got cut in half.
Cut Darth Maul in half, and he becomes 2. Regeneration, asexual reproduction.
No, it's just his species was very hardy and tough, and they built him a
Darth Vader legs.
Darth Vader legs.
It's like Lieutenant Dan now. He's got metal legs. Yeah, I watched too many movies. I like them. I want to go see Jack Reacher. I saw The Accountant.
Mic is messing up.
Is it mine?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I've been looking to try and figure out whose it is, but I can't tell.
Hello? Is it just like crackling or something like
Yeah.
that? Oh.
Yeah, but nobody's is obviously scraping anything. Anyway.
I don't know. Mine's way down. Yours is
Okay.
closer to your neck, but.
I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
It was crackling though?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe I was touching this. Maybe I should stop touching this.
Stop touching things.
Mm.
I'll move that away from me because I was messing with it. But yeah, no, I'm really waiting to see what happens because we get to see Darth Vader again in Rogue One. So that's going to be kind of cool. And we get to see all these new characters that we know nothing about.
Well, so my understanding of Rogue One is, so this is the story of how the rebellion gets the plans that gives them the information so that they can go in and dismantle the Death Star,
Yes.
right? So we're in the time frame of when Luke goes in and does his little, right?
Just
Before.
before.
Just
before.
Just before. So who's I haven't even looked at it, but who's playing Vader?
Oh, I don't know.
Because he's in it.
Yeah.
Is James Earl Jones?
I think
even-
he's doing the voice, yeah.
Is he? Is he alive?
Because James Earl Jones wasn't in the suit. It was somebody else.
Right, it was
just
somebody
else
else.
doing the voice.
And I know some of the actors have passed away. Like several of them recently have passed away, right? From the original 3 movies, right? Didn't like.
News to me.
That's it, you
I
guys
forget about
caused
that
this mashup. Lieutenant Dan, you got Darth Vader legs. T-shirt, please.
That's funny.
And that was from... Did I say it was Patrick? Yeah, it's from Patrick. So, yeah, no, I'm looking forward to that. I'm going to have a lot of fun with that. I'm a big Domo guy. I like Domo.
So we both have like these Japanese things that we like. You're a big Domo guy. I'm a Hello Kitty girl. I'm really excited. I don't know if everybody saw on the Facebook page that they're bringing one of those Hello Kitty pop-up cafes to San Antonio.
So, I didn't read it all. Are they doing like all the like desserts and stuff like
Yeah,
they do
all the
in
little
Japan?
all the little cute like Hello Kitty
Nice.
shaped desserts and different things. Yeah. So I'm excited. I'm going to go. It's not till November, November the 19th. But if you look on our Facebook page, I put up the event. So if y'all want to go and click on the event, you can check out more about it. But I'm kind of excited about that. So,
They have real tight... The Hello Kitty franchise has real tight control over their licensing.
yeah, because they make buku bucks. I mean, I think that's one of the reasons why I'm so, like, still clutching to it so dearly. Although Hello Kitty's super cute, don't get me wrong. Hello Kitty's and Keroppi is super, super adorable. But we've talked about this before, too. Like, when I grew up here in San Antonio, my dad was a teacher and my mom stayed at home, so we didn't have very much money. So things like Hello Kitty were not in the budget. It wasn't something that I ever got to have. And I always wanted it, but their stuff was expensive. Back when we were kids, it was kind of expensive
The
for what you
Sanrio
got.
store?
The Sanrio store. It wasn't as accessible as it is now. Now you can get Hello Kitty like everywhere. But
But you don't see like Keroppi all that much anymore.
no, and there's another
It's
little
'cause Hello
character, and
Kitty
I
blew
forgot
up
what
so
the other
much.
the other little character was. But yeah, back in the day, you had to go to the Sanrio store, and it was pricey, so I didn't get any of the stuff. So
And the Hello Kitty character is not a cat.
it's a little girl,
It's a little girl.
which I never knew that.
No, we always thought they were like animals.
Yeah,
Animalistic characters or
but I guess
whatever.
it's like what. I don't know what you call all those little pajamas, like the onesie pajamas that everybody wears nowadays, like at the anime cons and stuff. I don't know what you call them, but I guess it's like a little kid in one of those things. It's like I'm in a onesie pajama and I'm a cat, or I'm a frog, or I'm a panda bear, or
You
whatever.
don't like see an outline of anything.
But you don't
or,
see
like,
her little
ears.
face
It's like
or whatever.
part of her head.
Yeah.
I don't
I don't
get
know.
it.
I don't. But that supposedly came directly from the creator, so it's like, hey, whatever floats your boat. I still think it's cute. I think it's adorable. And my new thing is like anything that's like chibi. Like chibi means that it's like it's kind of like babyfied. It has like
Cutesy.
the cutesy, the big eyes, and it's like very. Scotty Young does those kind of like baby superhero, like the variant covers. So I'm really into all of the baby stuff. I have to be careful because I really like all of this stuff, and then it like takes over your whole house, and you can't stop yourself. And you're like, oh my god, that's so cute. Let me
With
have
the
it.
Agent Carter up there, that's never gonna come back,
Hey, I'm excited that I have that. Since...
and the Agra.
Yeah, I don't know why my kids and I were talking about this at school the other day. I don't know why we were talking about having a fake eye. I don't know. My GT kids, we derail into all of these Never Never Lands, but they were talking about a fake eye, and then I was like, oh my god, have any of y'all ever seen Dark Crystal with Agra? And of course they haven't because they're like 12. No, a couple of them have because they have parents like that showed them that kind of stuff. But yeah, again with the geeky movies, I like that.
Well, didn't you have a student last year whose name was Aziz, and he was named after?
No. His name is Corbin. His name is Corbin, and I asked him. I was like, "Honey, do you know where your name comes from?" And he goes, "Yes." And I was like, "Does your name come from a movie, The Fifth Element?" He's like, "Oh my god, how do you know that?" I was like, "I love that movie. I am a meat popsicle. Yes." And he's like, "Oh my god, yes. I've seen that movie like 500 times because I'm named after Corbin Dallas." I was like, "Yes."
Nice.
My day has been made. My universe. So he's an 8th grader now, so he comes and visits me all the time. He's one of my sweethearts. But yeah, just like instant connection with that kid because it's just like totally geeking out. So yeah. No, but I have a friend. So that's the running thing with Vincent and I because I do love The Fifth Element too. Whenever we get in the car at night, if Vincent doesn't turn on the lights, then I'm like, Aziz,
Light.
light. So he'll turn on the lights because our car doesn't have the automatic. It has like the running lights, but not the automatic like lights, like the newer cars do. So that's our thing. So then I know who we were with the other day. We were with Chris Pagonis. We were taking him home actually after the show. And then you didn't have the lights on, and I was like, Aziz. And then Chris was like, lights. I was like, yay. My life is complete. I get excited over really stupid stuff.
I turn it on. I just don't like to turn it on when I'm in my driveway.
I know.
That's not my.
But I just
turn
now
on
I'm
when
to the
I'm
point
out.
where I just want to say it. Like I just enjoy saying
Aziz
it.
light. Okay.
Man, what's up with the dog lately? She's
Fan
like
movie
attacking.
from the 1990s. Or favorite movie from the 1990s.
Favorite movie from the 1990s? Does it have to be a geeky movie? Because this is going to be like totally girly cliche, but Pretty Woman has to be my favorite movie from the 90s.
I'm trying to think from the 90s.
The Ninja Turtles. The live action Ninja Turtles movies were my favorite
Yeah,
from the 90s.
those are not my favorite, but
But they're up there.
yeah, the first one still holds up, I think.
Yeah. I
Secret
like the one where they go to Japan. I don't care what anybody says. I like that one.
yeah.
But the first one was the bomb. Let's see. Aladdin.
Yeah, there were a bunch of Disney films in the 90s.
Disney
Very big.
blew up in the 90s. Beauty and the Beast, Aladdin, Oliver and Company. Like there was a lot in the 90s from Disney. What else was in the 90s? Dude, the 90s was it, man.
Yeah, they had a bunch of them.
We should get the new nostalgia to come back and talk to us because they obviously know their stuff from the 90s because they grew up then, but our kids were little in the 90s. Our kids were born in 92, 96, and 97.
It's not quite right with the one I was going to say.
What were you going to say?
Enemy Mine?
Was 88 or?
No. It's, that one was 2001.
Enemy
Not
Mine
the
is from 2001?
That's what it says right here.
No, that's a remake.
No way. That
No.
can't be possible. That's from 2000. No, that's not true.
That's gotta
That's
be
not
a
true.
remake.
That's not true.
Yeah, 20th Century Fox, 2001.
No way.
Looking at it right here.
No, I totally
with
remember
who in
being
it?
younger.
With Dennis Quaid and Louis Gossett Jr.
No, they're lying.
No,
Look at
that's a lie.
IMDb. It's 1985. 1985.
Then why does it say 2001? Maybe
They
it was
lied.
released on
Are you in IMDb?
iTunes.
Oh, no.
Maybe that's when it got into iTunes.
Yeah.
Republished.
So it's 85.
85. 1985. So, no, you still can't.
Okay.
Dude, enemymindsthebomb.com too, though. I don't have any baby Drac
Yeah,
food.
there's so many great 80s films, too. Why start in the 90s? Oh my god, we're overlooking so many wonderful action and sci-fi films.
I don't know, but then if we talk about the 80s, then Vince gets to talk about some of his stupid Kurt Russell movies.
Those are awesome. Don't
Yes.
call those stupid.
I always enrage
Big
every
Big
man
Trouble
I
in
know.
Little China.
Every
Yes.
man I know, I enrage them. I'm like, Big Trouble in Little China. Lame.
And that was in
Escape from New York.
86.
Lame. And then all of a sudden my mic gets cut off. Every
Them's
time.
fighting words.
I know. People are always throwing me out of my own house. I don't like Leslie Nielsen movies.
What?
Yeah, I know. It's a thing. So if you haven't been watching the show, that's another thing. I always anger the incoming producer every time, and Vince, when I tell them I don't like these movies. It's too funny.
Escape from LA.
That was 90s.
That was 90s. Even though it was the same movie as Escape from New York, pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much.
Pretty close. Pretty close.
Totally different movie. What are you talking about?
No, what's that?
It was like Evil Dead and Evil Dead 2.
What's that stupid movie that you like with Val Kilmer in it, where he's a spy or whatever?
Oh, that was 80s.
Was that-
Oh, no. Yeah, that was 80s. Top Secret.
Is that the name of it?
Yeah.
It's like totally cheesy.
For a while there,
Yeah,
I
1984.
thought maybe you were talking about The Saint.
No.
You mean the silly one.
Yeah,
The silly one, yes.
the silly one. That one I can almost tolerate, but not quite.
It's funny.
It's all right. I tolerate it. I'm not down for all that stuff. But you know me, I'm a big Disney geek, and then I don't know. I like movies. The Matrix. When was The Matrix made? I figured that would be one of your favorite. When was Hackers made? That's your favorite. Like,
Billie Jean, Legend of...
not your lover?
Oh.
She's just a girl who says that she's the one?
And she says, I'm the one.
Oh, she says that you're the one?
Oh.
It's all
They
Charles.
said Space Jam.
Space Jam. Oh, Lord. And then you were 5.
Oh.
No, Space Jam
Patrick's the
was...
Starship Troopers in American Beauty.
Oh,
yes. I love
yes.
Starship Troopers.
Yes, totally.
I hated the sequels to that.
Oh my God, we
They
don't
were
even
really
acknowledge
bad.
those. That's not a thing that you even say that happened.
Oh, yes. Real Genius. I like that one too. But that was 80s,
Yes.
isn't it?
Matrix was 1999, the first one. So it barely makes the cut.
Well, yeah, then it would be Matrix.
And Hackers was 1995.
It would be Matrix first, then Hackers.
Shut your face. Really? You
Mm-hmm.
would pick Matrix over Hackers? How many times have you said hack the planet in your lifetime?
I have it in my game.
Exactly. So, like, really? Matrix over Hackers? I'm in shock right now.
It's
You learn
Matrix.
something every day, people.
It's
Every day.
Matrix.
It's Hackers. Like, it's Hackers. I don't know. There's a lot of good movies
Yeah.
from those time frames. Like, we could...
And people cared less, weren't necessarily so critical about the quality of the writing. That, you know, you go back and you watch things like, oh, I don't know, I'm going to throw out Independence Day, for instance, which I think was like 97 or something. And it's awesome, and you're not really criticizing it
Right.
as
you're
you
just
watch
like,
it, you're just like, yeah, this rocks, or another action film like The Rock or something. It's a preposterous film, and yet at the same time, you just get lost in it because there's enough carryover from the '80s that we just expect that this is the way films are going to go.
Yeah.
I love The Rock too, by the way.
Yeah.
In Con Air. Who doesn't love Con Air? Like, that was awesome too. Yeah, I agree. It was just fun for the sake of being fun, right?
Right.
It was stupid explosions and things that would never happen.
It was why we like John Woo stuff. And then people stopped liking John Woo stuff.
I didn't.
I didn't.
I guess it depends on what you're talking about. But yeah, the Rock and Con Air, they were both like 96, 97. So yeah, it's in that tail end of us like being all excited for things, and then, and when did the Mission Impossible movies come
Lawnmower Man.
out?
Yes, I like the director's cut of Lawnmower Man. The director's cut of Lawnmower Man makes sense. The theatrical release, it didn't suck, but it doesn't make as much sense.
I don't even remember it. Was the Lawnmower Man? Did it have Max Headroom in it?
No. It had Pierce Brosnan and who's that guy that plays the bad guy all the time?
I don't remember. I'm sure I've seen it. I just don't remember it.
So here we have all of these wonderful classic movies from the '90s, but you were tasked with the challenge of choosing a favorite,
Like, choosing a favorite.
which I don't do.
Oh, shoot, Johnny Mnemonic.
We're never gonna be able to choose
Oh,
a favorite.
man.
How do you
That's
choose
gonna
a
be-
favorite?
That's
don't.
going to be tough.
You don't. You can't choose a favorite. Like, it depends on the.
Like, my most favorite line from Johnny Mnemonic is, I'm going to do it. I'm really going to do it.
Yes, that's his favorite line because he says it all the freaking time. All the time. This man quotes a movie for every freaking thing that he does in his lifetime. A movie or a TV show.
I remember lines
You do.
for some reason.
Yes. And then you like to use them and insert them. And then he looks at me like I'm supposed to know what movie they're from. He's like, you know what that's from? I'm like, no.
No.
Because you're not cool.
I'm not cool like that. I don't know these things, these cool things that the cool people know.
Or like when I've gone through and I see movies and I can like quote along with them word for word everybody's dialogue. It's just
It's a thing that you
it's
do.
a thing that we do.
And meanwhile, I'm like, did we see this movie before?
Patrick says, I don't have favorites. I just have those I'm willing to watch again. Yeah.
Yeah, but they're making so many good movies now. I have this problem of we have all of these movies
Mm-hmm.
and we're not watching them again. Because we have access to Netflix, because we have cable, because we have all these good movies coming out. Like, you could practically watch a new movie every week if you were either going to the dollar theater or going to the regular theater, you know. Like,
Yeah.
we could go every week and watch something new.
Well, now they're going to start releasing like good movies coming here pretty soon.
Right, because it's that time of year again. So
Yeah.
you get those kind of those highs and lows. So you get that summer blockbuster thing, and then you get like everybody coming towards the end of
Because
the
here
year.
for a while, there's just like been nothing.
I really, really enjoyed The Accountant. I know that people
No, I really like that
hate
one.
Ben Affleck, but
Did people hate that movie?
I don't know if they hated that movie. I don't even pay attention to the criticism anymore. But people hate Ben Affleck as a person in general. There's something about his face that I think people don't like. I don't know. People like hate Ben Affleck, but I guess because he tends to play the same character over and over again. But I don't know. I think he's good at it. I loved The Accountant. I thought The Accountant was great.
Yeah, you should definitely go see it if you haven't seen
Go
it.
see it.
But,
You'll really, really enjoy
yeah,
it. It has some twists and turns and stuff like that.
But it's really cool. But we've already gone past where we're supposed to go. But thanks
There
for
was no
checking us
sound
out.
at the beginning.
We're just talking about ourselves. You know, we have a lot to
It's our
talk
favorite
about.
subject.
It's our favorite subject. We talked about a bunch of geeky things, but it's a bunch of geeky things that we like. But we kind of do that anyway. But you know a little bit more about us. Tell us more about y'all. But do it next time. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Vince.
I'm Colleen, and that's Charles. Thanks for coming, Charles.
Yep, barely made it.
Geek Out SA.